races to go. It is go time. Drivers and teams will still need a bit of luck and strategy, but this track won't be anything like we saw 1 week ago at Talladega. Last week, you wanted a partner. You needed one. Clint Boyer and Jeff Burton teamed up all day long, and heading into the final restart, their plan was to get together as quickly as possible and pull a gap. That is exactly what they did. They pulled a gap, and it allowed Boyer to make a move. In fact, they even talked about it on the radio. Burton knew it was coming. He settled for second, while Boyer pulled into victory lane for the first time in this 2011 season. It's the first time in this chase that a non-chase driver has won a race, so no one fighting for the championship got maximum points. There was, however, a bit of a shakeup. Brad Kay was the big winner. He moved up 3 spots. Brad Kay lost 3 spots, and the top 5 are now separated by just 26 points.
Gorgeous October day at Martinsville Speedway as we get set to go racing for 500 laps. You look at the starting lineup coming across the top of your screen, lined up according to points basically, because qualifying was rained out. So Carl Edwards, who has only 1 top 5 finish here at Martinsville, is going to start on the pole at a race he said coming in made him a little bit nervous where the championship is concerned. Our Gillette Pro Glide profile as the rest of the starting lineup goes across the top of the screen. Look at Carl's numbers at the other short tracks on the Sprint Cup circuit on the right compared with Martinsville. He's done better at the others. Skeptic or believer about this pole position helping him today?
Well, I think that's the key, Alan. Starting up front here is a big factor in having a good day, and he may change those numbers a little bit.
All right, as Carl leads this field out on to the paper clip, let's talk to him. He's our in-race reporter for today here in Martinsville.
Carl, Dale Jarrett, the ESPN. You have a copy?
Got you, Dale.
Hey, thanks for talking with us. Our first question comes from our mailbag, and Jackson in Midlothian, Virginia asked, do you feel any pressure to win in these last 4 races, or does your 14-point lead provide you with enough of a cushion to not push yourself for one?
Well, that's a good question. It's something I've been thinking about a lot. You know, and a 14-point lead can go away in an instant, so I know how good these guys are that are chasing me. And what we've got to do as a team is just go out and get every point we can, and we're going for wins these last 4 races.
Hey, Carl, limited practice time, a new, softer right side tire. Strategies we've seen here in the past, could they be quite a bit different today? May need more tires?
I think that's a really good question. I think that the staying out on tires, I think it's going to be harder to do today. I think Goodyear brought a tire that falls off a little bit more, which is better for racing, better for passing in the fans. I don't envy Bob Osborne's position or any of these crew chiefs on pit road. It's going to be really tough to make those calls.
500 laps on the smallest track on the circuit. It's far from the easiest track. A difficult grind ahead for these drivers. How will it play into the championship? The green flag is out. Bonus point toward the championship to Matt Kenseth, who led that first lap. A little smoke boiling from Tony Stewart's car as he was under braking in turn 1.
Carl Edwards still battling hard. He wants that bonus point here before anything else starts happening.
Like Matt will keep from letting him get that point. Pretty strong on the outside for Matt Kenseth to take the lead right away.
And I think this new tire that they have here on the right side has a lot to do with them being able to run on the outside.
Did you see Carl Edwards literally carried the left front wheel off of turn 2?
He might get it this time.
No, not quite. Remember, 1 bonus point for leading a lap during a race, a point for leading the most laps during the race, and in a championship where things are so close, each point could make a difference.
You can see that left front tire, I'm coming off the ground on that 99 car. These cars are running really soft springs to try to hook these rear tires up. Looks like he's going to get that point now. Gets by Matt Kenseth.
So there, we led that one.
Tony Stewart. Big run to the inside, trying to keep Kenseth to the outside.
You can see Matt trying to get to the inside, into the wall a little bit for the 17 right there. A little contact with Tony Stewart. That outside's only going to work for a certain number of laps on these fresh tires, on these restarts. Then you want to get back down in line. Bottom is the fastest way around here.
Keselowski, then the Busch brothers side by side behind him. Kyle inside in the 18, Kurt outside in the 22. This the race for second. Tony Stewart in the 14 had such a lousy race here. Back in April, the race he had here last October was lousy for this 14 if he's going to be a factor in this championship. Agree or disagree, but he's got to get through today with a good finish.
Yeah, I think he definitely has to get through today with a good finish, and he's out there driving right now, driving extremely hard up here in traffic with a setup. He really wasn't sure what to expect from it because they made a lot of changes to this 14 car.
Trouble in turn one. Kurt Busch around, and look at that. Denny Hamlin, whole track, half the track anyway, is blocked, and the field stopped behind him.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon got a small piece of that. I don't think he's got much damage, though.
That's Mike Skinner, 37 car. There's Junior, Denny Hamlin, Jeff Burton.
There's a big mess down there.
As they get down into one, you can see Dale Jr. just didn't have enough room, ran up over that pink curbing that's down on the inside now. That threw him up into the 22 of Kurt Busch.
It looked like Junior was doing all he could to stay off of Kurt Busch. He drives down. Yeah, he's just not quite up far enough.
Hold the brakes. Just stay up there. Don't come down. Don't come down. Don't come down. Do not come down.
Denny Hamlin ends up sideways.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I mean, I was trying to take that spot. He kind of crammed me down. I hit the apron, or the curb first before I hit him. They just closed it up real fast on me. That's all right, bud. Man, that's what this day is going to be all about, man.
So Kyle Busch goes out in front of this event. The man who led the opening laps of this race, Carl Edwards, we heard him just a minute ago before the restart. Well, he just got shuffled and lost a couple of spots there. Jeff Gordon got up underneath him, and Gordon and Dale Jr. have gotten by.
It is amazing at this racetrack how different your race car will drive. And I'm not talking about aero here. I'm just talking about you get back in traffic, trying to make passes, the things that you do different, and trying to make speed and make a pass. And it shows you a whole other side of your race car.
Up ahead, Denny Hamlin. Might call him Mr. Martinsville, certainly of late. Working on Kurt Busch in the 22 to get a spot. That's for 6th position. And now going after Matt Kenseth for the 5th spot.
A.J. Allmendinger just took 2nd spot away from Tony Stewart.
And Petty 43 has gone to victory lane here at Martinsville many, many times. Would be kind of a surprise to see it in victory lane here today. This has not been the track that AJ has posted the best of numbers.
Hold your brake. Hold your brake. Get it going if you can. Leaders into 3.
Should we call that the early hat trick?
Fired up. Get it rolling here.
3 cautions, and Brian Vickers has been facing the wrong way on the racetrack after all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's not the kind of day that you're looking for when you get this started, realizing you've only got 450 laps to go.
I've seen it go like that for years and then get worse.
Brian was 28th. Damage to Montoya's car, left front and left rear.
There'll be very few that we see today that won't have some type of damage like that. See right here, like Vickers was trying to get in there and let his car roll. Just couldn't keep it on the bottom. Got into Montoya, who was okay after that, but Vickers will probably just be back to pit road for some more tires and try it again. Maybe tighten it up a little bit.
Oh, when it goes bad, it just goes bad here.
Yeah, I was just thinking, this is a long race for a driver behind the wheel. That top of the screen scoring scroll, get back through that first dozen.
Junior, a little contact into the back of the 6 car, David Reagan. Maybe even more time to get to turn 3.
Not done with him yet.
There we go. Excuse me, I'm coming through.
May not be done with him yet either.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
It's like neither one of them are done.
Did I use the term muscle before?
Did we say something about patience?
The lack thereof.
And paybacks. Now, here we go again.
And a payback for the payback.
Yep.
And this is at the front of the field. They
Yep.
could do a lot if these two don't settle this issue before long.
And if they get knocked around in front of the field, a whole lot of people with a lot at stake behind them could get swept up in a chain reaction.
There's your bumper. You're clear. You're clear.
might get through the center of the corner, but Reagan not able to get through. And look at the gap that Ryan Newman has opened. Back to second place. Brian Vickers didn't pit under that caution in that 83 car, and although he's been sideways 3 times in this race, he's up inside the top 10.
That's unbelievable.
You know, we just thought last week was crazy at Talladega where you could go from the front to the back to the middle.
Yeah.
This might be a good one to hang in the back.
Caution flags out again. That's not the first impact for Jamie McMurray's car under this very brief yellow flag period so far, but you can see Jamie walking away from the car after a very hard hit that set off, well, let's just go show you. Easier to show you than to explain the whole thing. McMurray and Brian Vickers here, 1 and 83, going down into turn 3.
Well, I'm going to give Brian Vickers the benefit that he got a little loose right there.
Hard shot for McMurray there.
You might give him the benefit, but I'm not sure McMurray's going to.
His wheels are right, and he had his brakes locked up, so all of that combined.
It's a big hit for Jamie. Listen to
That
this. So as McMurray starts to drive away from the accident scene, he leaves some things behind.
Looks like
Those are the batteries from his car.
Yep,
Now
that's what that
laying
is.
on the racetrack. And then when Vickers comes by, McMurray, well, I know baseball season just ended, but we'll call that a swing and a miss.
For sure.
Well,
you didn't really miss.
All right, how about a foul ball then?
Yeah.
like, what do you call it, Dale? The changeup?
Yeah, he was expecting a changeup and got the fastball there, so.
I don't have any power, just so you know. Your battery's on the ground up here.
Yeah, that might be why right there.